Hi, BookTube, and happy Friday. We've made it through the week, and so I thought I would sit down and chat with you and talk about the books I'm going to be reading this weekend. It's been a bit since I've filmed a video, and that's because we went through like 2 weeks straight of non-stop gloom and rain, and then unexpectedly we had like 5 or 6 days straight of warm, sunny, blue sky weather, and so I took some time off work and went out and enjoyed it like every single day that I could. We went on many hikes and saw some of the nature around Portland and outside of Portland. And so, along with that, I went to several bookstores, and I will do a separate haul talking about those books because I have gotten plenty of books for the month of March. I don't have any plans to get any more in this last week of March because we're back to gloomy, rainy weather. So, yeah, I don't really have any plans to go out and about with all of that. With that being said, today it's been a bit of a slow day at work, and so I had a bunch of energy after work, and so I have been organizing all of my books. I switched the angle around filming for a little bit because I was like, I alphabetized all of my nonfiction. This is my whole like nonfiction shelf, and so I sorted my nature and then separated it from like memoir and history and the pioneer and diaries and collections that I have. So I worked that out and alphabetized it just to see what I actually owned, and then I rearranged this as well. And so my nose is a bit my nose is a bit like itchy right now because of all of the dust, and so I dust it regularly, but yeah, I just pulling things in and out. I'm sure we all know what that's like. I didn't make a complete mess of my apartment, and I got them right back. So there's that. Okay, so as far as what I'm going to be reading this weekend, because of the rain and the gloom, I do not have any plans to go out. I have my dinners all prepared for this week. This last couple days, I made like a gigantic pot of paneer, like butter paneer masala, and so that's gonna take me through the weekend. And then I made like baked potatoes and asparagus, and so with those two, like I'm good for the weekend, and so like I don't have to worry about cooking, so more reading time. And so I'm just gonna briefly mention two books that I am in the middle of that because these are for March of the Mammoths, and these are gigantic chunkers of a book, both of them. This one is 930 pages, and I am on page 77. So I am right here. It's The Fitzgeralds and the Kennedys by Doris Kearns Goodwin. I've read several books by her, and you might recognize her name. She wrote the Team of Rivals and several history books like that are pretty well known, and they're all pretty big books. And I didn't really know much about the Fitzgeralds before getting into this, and the whole first part so far is following the Fitzgeralds family, and eventually, like, their offspring are going to marry into the Kennedy family, like, JFK and all of that. And so you have this family tree. I think there's two of them in here. Yeah, there's like the Fitzgeralds and then the Kennedys and how they all sync up. But here's the families there. But the first family, the Fitzgeralds, you learn about them coming from Ireland as immigrants to Boston, and it's like the whole tenement lifestyle that I feel like we've all read about in school, learned about in schools and history books with that. And then there's one son in particular who has that, not financial wherewithal because he didn't start out with anything like that, but he was eager to learn, and he fit into the political role, like that mold that they get what I'm saying, and kind of shoots off from there. So I am just getting into that part. We haven't met the Kennedys at all so far, and yeah, so I'm greatly enjoying that. I just wanted to mention the Mammoths because I feel like sometimes I don't talk about books until I've finished them. So, and here's the other one, The New Yorker Book of Poems. I'm not sure who this is edited by. It might be a whole group of editors of The New Yorker, and I am on page 226 of 830 something pages. And for this one, I'm just reading, 10-15 minutes a day, off and on, getting through this. And then with this one, I'm trying to read 30 minutes a day. So I don't have any plans. I don't think I'm going to finish either one of these before the end of March. But I am consistently and consciously, remembering to pick these up and read it. And I am really enjoying it, especially this one. I'm really enjoying the gigantic history book. I mean, it reminds me too, like this readathon, March of the Mammoth, reminds me that I have several gigantic history books on my shelf, and they're always so enjoyable. I like diving into that world and just immersing yourself in it, and like constantly going back to it day after day. It's been really fun. So then switching gears to middle grade March, I am going to be reading 2 books this weekend for that. Hopefully 2 books. Because I'm going, I have these are also alphabetized, my middle grade books up these. This one went up here. I have 2 shelves full of them. And I've been going alphabetically by author. And so right now I'm on letter R. So I'm reading by Johanna Rice, The Upstairs Room. And this is a Newbery Honor book. So I'm like double dipping with my personal challenge of reading through the Newbery Honor and Winter books. And then for middle grade March. And this one is really reminding me of Anne Frank. I haven't read it yet. But just like reading the back, it talks about how Annie, who was 8 in 1940, she's living in Holland, and the Germans attacked Holland, and then she and her sister are sent to live in an upstairs room. Does it say for how long? While the war is going on, so that they're not like kidnapped and taken away. And so yeah, it's really really strong vibes of Anne Frank. So we'll see how this one goes. And then the other book I'm going to read for S is Mindy Warsaw Skolaski. It's Love from Your Friend Hannah. And it says, P.S. You'll never guess who I wrote to. And so on the back, it talks about how she wanted a pen pal. And this is taking place in 1937. So she writes to someone, but they don't write back. And so she decides she needs a new pen pal. So she writes to the President of the United States. And then somehow, she all of a sudden gets many pen pals that she's like corresponding with. So this is full of like many different fonts, because like it seems like almost every single page is a different person she's talking to. So yeah, this looks like lots of fun, and I need something light after the kind of the darker like World War II, hiding and constantly being frightened kind of thing. Speaking of being frightened, because of the rain and all that, I was really getting a hankering for reading a gothic story, like something like moody and atmospheric. And so I'm going to be reading, I think I'm on book 3 in this collection. This is a gothic treasure trove with a cool cover. And I am, reading the 3rd book. This is Kirkland Revels by Victoria Holt. And I will show you. And I have my placeholder here is like the Palace Bookstore when it's at night, which I thought would be fitting for this collection here. And so throughout this collection, they have each title page has illustrations, and then the very first page of the story also has some illustrations, and then throughout the story there might be a couple. But at the beginning, it gives you a little summary of what the book is about. And it says, Kirkland Revels, a joyful name for a magnificent manor house on the English moors. But Catherine, who comes there as the bride of Gabriel, is to find little joy at her husband's ancestral home. Next to it are the ruins of the ancient abbey. Once inhabited by a self-sufficient community of monks, it is now, centuries later, crumbling, isolated and brooding. At first, Kathy is fascinated by the place and enjoys her solitary strolls there, until she senses that her every movement is being watched. So I won't keep going reading the description, but yeah, so there's that one. Like, of course, like you're on the moors and you have the spooky house and the Kathy. All of that is making me think of Wuthering Heights, which is a favorite of mine. And then this last one here of the physical books I have is Peace at Heart, an Oregon Country Life by Barbara Drake. And this is about a woman who is living maybe in Portland. Yeah, this is in the late 1980s. She moves from Portland to the countryside in western Oregon, Yamhill Valley, and it talks about the weather and seasons and plants and animals that she's dealing with. And judging by the cover, I'm guessing that is she getting into like sheep farming or like spinning wool? I don't know. So yeah, it's pretty short. It's less than 200 pages, so I think that'll be doable for this weekend. And then the last book, to switch gears completely, because this is a book I had on my TBR when it was nice and sunny, because this is set in Florida, and this is on the Kindle Paperwhite I have. I've been in January, I decided to subscribe to Kindle Unlimited to try like some indie published books, and like you just test that out, because I've never tried like the Amazon Kindle Unlimited. And this is by Andrew Mayne, and it's Dark Dive. And this is book 5 in the series. It is I know that the series has a name, I would think. But this is all about a diver in Florida where she is, I'm trying to flip through here to find the, here we go, 1 second. Underwater investigation unit. But she is a diver and a professional diver, but she also gets pulled into being like a police detective diver. So it's really unique. And so I'm looking forward to that one. I've really enjoyed all of the previous books in the series. And I'm pretty sure it's the last book in the series, which I'm really sad about because I would like it to go on. But Andrew Mayne has several series that I've tried one of them, but I think there's several more I can try. And then also, like with Kindle Unlimited, there's always like books at the bottom, like recommending different things. So I'm trying to like use it as a way of discovering new authors and things like that. So yeah, those are all my plans. Let's see if I can do a tower. Oh. With the mammoth. So I have all of these and a Kindle book to see me through. So I am trying to, with all these books I purchased for on this last week, I really need to make a point of reading my physical books. And as I'm like organizing things, I'm like pulling things down, and there's so many. Oh yeah, I want to read this now and now, all of them. Like I want to get to all of them now. Like if I just didn't have to work, then yeah, then we would have time. All of us, you know, I feel like all of us have that sentiment. But anyway, I hope everyone is having a good Friday and enjoy your weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.